Hello, and welcome back to Strange Hunkers. Last we left off, deep in the woods of the archipelago of Valkyrie, our party encountered a sweet little satyr who'd never done anything wrong in her entire life, who very generously offered to both Oash and Tazriel to help them with their woes. And in exchange, some hag bargains were made. But everything's fine and right as rain. Our party set away from Madeira, unburdened by both memory and pleasure, and
Yeah, thank
continue.
God we don't have those weighing us down anymore.
Continue.
Listen, you're our GM. I give you permission to say it was bad.
I don't think it was bad. I think it was perfect for me.
Continued towards the Gale Peaks, where they hope to encounter both the Order of Black Ice and the Dwarven City. They split from Laura and Aldris, left them to their own travels, and continued with their core pack, including Vice and Neve, of course. We last left off about an hour out from the Dwarven City, and likely another half a day's travel from the Order of Black Ice. Unfortunately, due to some poor sleeping decisions, they have been forced to sleep through most of the day in order to catch up and maintain a level of, awakeness instead of exhaustion. So I believe we left off with the lights of the Darkstone City twinkling in the distance. Is that correct?
Yeah, were we resting? I forget. We took a long rest because we got to level up, right?
Yes, you took a long rest because you did all get to level up.
Yay, we leveled up.
You're feeling this maybe you're feeling a little buffer, a little stronger.
Never.
Oh god, my muscles, they're rippling. They can't stop rippling.
Why are they rippling so?
Why are they rippling?
With rippling muscles, our party, I think it was evening. You had taken a long rest. You had taken a long rest previously, some evening conversations, and then we set to this long rest. So unfortunately is that right?
I don't remember, but I did cast Find Steed at some point.
You did cast Find Seed, and you got a lot of little guy.
I got
Tiny bones.
a commogulation.
Did Matthias ride ahead?
Yes, he did.
He did ride ahead. I think it was like Matthias and then Tazriel and then the rest of the group.
Mm-hmm.
Matthias had ridden ahead to enter the town proper and scout out for any danger. That's what it was.
Yeah. But I think we probably ended at we had another day. So it was another long rest situation. Which means I think that we can all catch up on our exhaustion.
Yeah. Let's say that. So I'm gonna just kind of skim us over the rest of the travel towards the mountains. The Gale Peaks are familiar to Matthias and Vice. None of the rest of you have been here before. But the landscape around you at this point now has begun to take on a familiar air. The brisk cold, the white expanses, these thick green trees, the smell of pine in the air, the occasional ominous noises and baying howls and grasping branches. This is a hostile environment, but it is also intensely natural. However, as the ground begins to slope upwards and more signs of life appear, this is not a bustling area by any means, but it does seem like there has been more frequent travel in and out. The woods themselves open up two forms of roads. You see a little bit more packed cold dirt. You even see patches of cobblestone, a few more of those resting locations, either maintained by the Order or perhaps travelers on the way to this larger city. Icehole, also known as Darkstone, it's not Dwarven, I would say. The Darkstone City is probably the largest outpost, and not large by any means, but the largest outpost before you cross into the Gale Peaks themselves. There are a number of other settlements that dot either within the mountains or along the base of the mountains, but they tend to rise and fall with natural disasters or famine or groups of roving highwaymen, etc. This settlement has been maintained for at least 50 or 60 years, probably a lot longer than that. But, Matthias and Vice being the ones who have lived here up to that long, they have known the city to be there the entire time. So there is a bit of a history there. The weapons, as we've talked about, some of these ice weapons, dark ice weapons that are famous for coming from the wastelands, are also crafted here. So even without a history check, as you've been talking, just again having traveled with Laura or collectively as a group, with your research into Fafhrd that you've done, you are familiar enough with weaponry forged in the Darkstone Forge to know that this is a place where you could gather materials. I also believe, Matthias, that you had a set of armor sent ahead to here that was being crafted. Am I remembering that correctly?
Oh wait, shit, I don't remember. Oh god, fuck.
I think you did. I'm trying to remember because it's been so long.
It's been a very long time, but I did
want send something ahead. As far as I remember, you sent at least something ahead.
That was literally like 3 fucking years ago. I don't know. I don't.
Literally years ago is you got something started for yourself and then was like, send it to a location.
Well, it'll definitely be done then.
I mean, I don't remember. I really don't.
No, I feel like our official note taker in the chat also is corroborating.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
see?
Surprise. Remember that you did that, Matthias?
Completely forgot that I did that. I just remember that I've been begging you for a suit of nice armor for a very long time.
It was always waiting for you in Icehole.
I told Sloan forever ago that they would only get armor like at this dwarven city, and
oh my gosh,
it's taken us years to get here.
We've gotten here.
Hey, if we're here, how about we outfit my cleric with something more than a 14 AC?
Just saying.
We have that armor from the big old monster that needs to be repaired, right? Maybe we can get it repaired here and you can wear it.
Let's get some good ass shit.
I just realized that. I was like, wow, my cleric warlock has the same armor class as my wizard in another game? I'm like,
but the rest of your group, Barden and Awaish and Kiara and Vice and Neve are traveling with your repaired sled, and your 2 little goat creature things.
Goated.
And the path you are traveling on widens and opens. You begin to switch back slowly. Not intensely, you're not actively scaling or climbing, but your legs are burning more as you're traveling. You have to put in a little bit more effort, and you eventually start to see some of the like goods in the car kind of sliding towards the back, as like the elevation climbs. You also see more of this notable marbled stone, just like in the distances as the mountains come up. There is an effect of like bouldering where perhaps avalanches or like snow has tumbled, and there are these wonderful marble patterns within the peaks of the mountains themselves. Also notable is that they aren't fully covered with snow. Like you aren't seeing completely snow blanketed mountains. You're seeing stone, you are seeing dirt, some like rough brush and growth, more of these pines that go up into the mountains, as well as smokestacks, outposts, the occasional lodge as well within the mountains here, and they stretch out before you to your left, to your right, ahead. You've got that wonderful like layering effect of mountains in the distance. It has been mostly flat from here on out, with the occasional like mountain to your left, keeping the ocean mostly to your right. However, this is the most mountainous region by far that you've been to over the course of your travels. These are high peaks, and you are slowly approaching just up to the base area of some of them. Those of you from Skyhome, this would be a pretty unique sight. I think, Barden, you've been to Uwar and Albara? So you've seen mountains and valleys. You've been to cabins.
Climbed.
Yeah. So you've seen rocks. You know rocks. And
Rocks
of
is
course
rocks.
You've seen rocks. You know rocks.
I'm not
is a
sure.
mountain.
There's rocks is rocks.
The fuck is? Oh wait, you've never seen a rock before.
I've seen a cliff, but what the fuck is this?
Points to a toe. That's a rock.
Certainly, your homeland has sailed over, mountains. You have cooled on.
I mean, Aethra is also a mountain, and I've been there. So
Aethra is also a mountain. So yeah, but more of a city on a mountain than a.
My dad's a mountain.
No rock, only shell.
Kiara wants to know what everyone has against sea level. Jesus Christ.
Very, very good. And
you know what works good at sea level? My lungs.
You know what?
I'm below.
True.
Breathing definitely harder here.
Well,
Awacia's passenger princess anyway, so it's not a problem.
Interestingly enough, though, you are still not terribly far from sea level. Valkyrie sits as a whole closer to sea level because it is like the majority of it is ice continent, right?
Mm-hmm.
So although there are high mountains, the mountains in the Empire are of higher elevation than these are from sea level.
Interesting.
And of course, Oashi, you are used to much higher elevation.
Yeah, I'm used to this. This is where my lungs live.
You're breathing pretty well compared. So
Breathing so good, sat in the back of the car.
as we approach, I'm going to ask each of you to tell me something unique and interesting you see on the mountain or in the town as we approach. So I'm going to start with Matthias because you've been here the most and you're approaching first. But what is a custom of the Darkstone City? Are there any particular dresses or apparel that people wear? Just give me a fact about the city.
I am thinking. A fact about the city. I wanna say that they have like there's there's a lot of like fur fashion, as I'm sure we can all guess. There would be fur, but they have like the boots that are like furry.
The Ugg boots?
Yeah, the Ugg boots. But they're like big explosions of fur, like 2000s, like
Yes.
Yeah, just huge.
Yeti boots.
Huge furry Yeti boots, 100%. Yeah. And probably like, I don't know what they're called. My brain is only telling me mufflers, but that's not what they are. But the thing that you put your hand in, the tube.
Yeah, the muff.
The muff. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You just like, probably
very
ones
fortunate
that are.
Name.
Yeah, very, yeah. But big furry ones of those as well.
Fantastic. Thank you. So there are, as you are traveling along this more open road, a number of stalls. Less market stalls, but more like wooden huts that are frequented by fur traders. And I'm going to say because of your awkward, time sleep schedule, that you finally reach closer like maybe 4 p.m. or so. Like you've woken up after another long rest day of travel and you're kind of shooting it back a little bit, but you are actually approaching closer to 4 p.m. Like you're coming in for dinner, not in the morning here. So you see that there are traders that are actually hawking furs. You are not the only cart approaching. Most of the other ones seem to have approached. They're either coming from the mountains, like there must be some pass or something, because there are parts that are dragging huge furry beasts like carcasses that have been slumped, and they're dragging them into the city. And you see people coming from that direction, people coming from not as close to the water as you did, but perhaps that path winds a different way than you took towards this city. So other carts, a lot of people walking on foot, maybe hunters that were out earlier and are bringing things in. So more people than you've seen in a while already. And the scent, this thick scent of tanning leather and fur. A few like tourist entrance stalls where you can see that they have like kind of earmuff or just like fur packets or like fur blankets and things that maybe are a little higher price because they're on the outskirts. That. Pooja, what is another element of this city that Kiara notices as they approach?
Kiara would probably notice the bigger, more obvious things, which I think in this case would be probably like architecture. Kiara, in the last several months while traveling, has for the first time been exposed to so many different styles of architecture. And I think it's just, she's having that like young person out in the world for the first time. And like, yes, you know, people have different cultures and different climates, but when you see it, and you're like, oh, that's so cool. They made those slanting roofs because it helps get the snow off. And like, you know, the houses aren't built with like clear breezeways to maximize airflow. In fact, it's the exact opposite. So I think Kiara is just more marveling at the very like, I don't know, is it like kind of like Alpine architecture?
Definitely,
like,
are we definitely thinking Alpine, like Netherlands,
Germanic almost.
Germanic, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's my point of reference is like the Bavarian like style slanting roofs. So like I think for Kiara, like, you know, we've kind of talked about like where she comes from. It's more like these kind of like curlicue archways and domes and things like that. So like it's very stark contrast, but it's also delightful because I think she has a few more brain cells than Matthias, but like she's never had to like, I mean, this is facts. She's never had to like
say it when Sloane's off the sound. Say it when Sloane's
fine. I mean, mathematically and stats wise, intelligence not her dump stat. I think like she's actually doing some critical thinking and putting together of pieces, and it's delighting her.
Amazing. I'm also, while I'm doing this, I'm not going to do it while Sloane isn't here. I'm going to say, Sarah, what is something about this town or the culture here as you are approaching it that Awaish would notice?
I mean, maybe approaching isn't the best time to notice this, but this is the thing that I feel like Awaish always purposefully takes notice of, is the people as they are entering in. It's always the first thing that they look for, and so the first thing that they would catch sight of. Not so much like definitely what kind of people live here, but also how do people signify their standing in this society? How do people show off their wealth? How do people kind of signify that they are in a hurry and not to be rushed versus maybe more lax with their time and able to be approached for, I don't know, whatever.
So what is...
By whatever, I mean robbing them blind, by the way.
What's a signal of wealth here?
This is always so hard, especially when it's a place that somebody else calls home. I never want to do something that makes them feel like is out of character for a place that they are very familiar with. I know, not you, Sloane.
Oh,
I think the way that people show off their wealth here is the ability to make warm pieces of clothing out of one singular creature. You'll see this a lot in tailoring, that a mark of high tailoring is actually not using good pieces, but the best pieces that match with one another. So if you're working with something like alligator leather, the pieces are going to match together in a way that makes it look natural, even if it's not the same part of the hide. I think in the same way, it's like you could afford to get a bigger animal versus someone who maybe doesn't have as much money, is working with patchwork, or is trying to use up the entire part of an animal versus just taking the best and making sure that they really match together. So not so much in the opulence of ownership, but more in the quiet quality of ownership.
Yeah. There are approaching in a more covered kind of sled, maybe similar to yours, but with like a structured sort of protective element that's also covered in fur, so it must be a lot warmer on the inside. You see just the back as they kind of pass a little bit ahead of you, a family of very light-skinned dwarves, looking kind of like freckled almost, that are wearing entirely white fur. Just like all of them have white fur, and you can see sort of like snout.
Like no imperfections at all.
Yeah, very, very bright white fur. Which would be very good for camouflage as well. Okay.
Good to know.
And also, Sloan, now that you're back, I'm gonna pull us all over to the town entrance. So everyone can get here in just a second. Welcome to town.
Hello, town.
There we go. There's your
Thank
little...
goodness we have these signs. Now I know which way the forest is.
Great. Shan, what's another element of the town here? Something cultural, something architectural.
I think Barnum would have definitely have noticed the people and the amount of people. But I think what they notice most is because it has almost a mirroring effect to Aran Albara, is that within the eaves of the houses are these little almost pigeonholes. And like poking out of them, and Barton's just, Kiara, look up there. And there is a little ptarmigan poking its head out, which is, if people don't know, it's an English grouse bird. It's very fluffy. It's built for the winter and it flies really strong. And Barton's just, in Aran Albara, we use birds a lot for sending messages, and we often use them as like sending messages to the gods. I wonder if they use them the same. Like they could use them for just, passing around messages. I mean, that'd be very easy. They're very strong flyers. But yeah, look at that one's even got little decorations on it. Isn't that nice?
See a
You must like them here.
big fluffy bird that's been kind of dangled over with a piece of silver jewelry around its neck and like a little silver ring around two claws, as it flies kind of out from one of these little holes and then wings up more into the mountains. And VJ, what's another element of this place?
Yeah, I think kind of scattered around here, they have these massive vats that appear to be like constantly heated. I don't know what the best heated drink in the area would be, but like whatever the smell is kind of wafting in. And Matthias would know this, but the rest of us wouldn't. I think specifically they have it in here because obviously it's the wild, it's very cold, unprepared people do like go and die and freeze to death, and maybe there's like to ward off ghosts or to welcome the ghosts in, be like, hey, get some warmth before going off to the next life or whatnot. But that's what I think is.
I love that. So you see these like barrels that are scattered around town. There is a covered barrel towards the entrance here. Some of these stalls that you're passing as you're entering have these big steaming covered barrels, and you see like someone just scoops out and ladles this almost like frothy dark brown liquid that is boiling hot into a tankard of one of the like dwarves wearing white fur. As they stop out, get out for a second, doesn't even look like they paid it for anything. It's just they just ladle this hot warm liquid in. Okay, Expedition. You are all now in Ashol, which I'm realizing more and more sounds like asshole, so I have once again made a fool of myself when it comes to naming
First,
a
It's
Sounds
Sounds
the
like
DM.
ice hole to me.
It sounds like ice hole to me, but that's the
Ice
DM
hole
gift
is-
and curse.
Icehole is fine. Icehole Darkstone, I went back through so many years of messages and found what this place was actually called.
We do
Yeah,
need a
that's
third
really-
place with hole in it, though. I'm just saying we need the trifecta.
The horror of the holes is the name for this campaign.
Plateau. Yes, VJ. Excellent idea.
I think VJ just said slick hole, which is in that tavern. I don't know what you heard, Sarah.
What did you just say, Sarah?
What did you
You know,
Oh boy.
I have to make it clear to the chat right now that I am very aware that the clit does not have a hole.
Oh,
I know anatomy.
perfect. And on that note,
Mm-hmm.
it is 4 p.m. as you enter. The angled slope roofs, with these small dark holes underneath them, greet you. The city of Icehole is once again switchbacked, but on a much steeper angle. Houses and buildings are not organized in neat rows, but rather clustered on flat areas and sloped areas between them, up and up into the mountain. In fact, disappearing into a massive open gorge almost, like a scooped out hole in the side of this mountain. You see icicles, you see lights glowing from inside. It seems like there is an external residential and like market area outside, but that most of the city is actually inside, set in to the side of a mountain here. Matthias, since you approach first, although I'm guessing you've probably caught up a little bit more to your party, or maybe only, 5 minutes out from the rest of them, you are the first person to see the telltale signs. The label for this place is an icicle piercing through this sort of dark, flat disc of stone, and beside it are carved letters in the language of Valkyrie, which is Korean, which, again, is like common, just a slightly different dialect here. You see the words Icehole, the city underneath.
Hell yeah. I would wait for everybody to catch up before walking in, because I feel like it'd be really stressful to just roll up and be like, where's my guy? So, once everybody gets there, though, just like march into town. Matthias is feeling great. He's so happy to be here. He's like ahead of y'all, so you can't really see him, but he does like turn his head, and when he does, you can see there's just like there's this softening of his like expression that you can recognize as like a soft smile for him. There's like some of the tension is gone, and he actually like, as he passes a couple of people, like recognizes some of them and says hello, and speaks in Dwarvish mostly to the folks here, and like stops to like shake a hand, kind of do the predator handshake with a couple people. And I think he just like takes y'all in and seems to be very happy. He watches a couple of like kids, dwarven children, kind of like run through the street, and laughs a little bit. It seems like he knows some of the people here.
Matthias, Oish immediately furrows their brow when Matthias first speaks in Dwarvish, and then, like, in a quiet moment says, "You know how to speak Dwarvish? Why didn't you tell me this?"
Yeah, it never came up. This town is very close to the orders, and we we interact with them a lot. So, yes, I
Yes,
ended up
also,
picking it
also
up.
trading. I also speak Dwarvish. If you didn't know. So do any of you know?
I do not. But wait,
Can you
what?
teach me hello and thank you and please?
People don't really say hello.
Oh,
If you could just speak it for about 30 minutes.
Wait, Matthias, what other languages do you speak?
Infernal.
let's get a book out, writing down what everyone can speak.
No, I don't know a lot of languages. I know Infernal because Vice taught me, and I know Dwarvish
Yes.
because I've been around here. I have. Otherwise, it's just common, and you know, the dialect from my home. That's all. I'm not very good at picking up languages. It is pretty difficult, but it helps to be immersed, which I got to be while I was here. So yeah, I mean I can speak. I don't think I can speak for 30 minutes just sort of off the top of my head, but I guess I could, I don't know, tell a story.
How about you,
in
Vice?
Dwarvish.
You two could have a conversation and then Oish could just listen, right?
No.
Dwarvish?
Let's continue.
Well,
No.
I'll
So
maybe
cold.
I can narrate. I'll just show you around.
Oish takes out their book.
But Borden, people might say Vorwarmte. Stay warm.
Or won't they? Oh, that's lovely. I love that. It's
Yes,
a bit like
a little more
Oralbara, but
gold.
that's usually stay in the
Gold,
shade. You know,
Yeah.
funny.
Yes. So, Matthias, you see some familiar faces. This is not a purely dwarven city. There are a lot of giant folk who tend to live in the mountainous regions of Korean. So a number of giants or furbolgs as well. Just in general, I would say this is a small enough city that it does look like a lot of people have almost like stone qualities to their skin. Many of them might seem to be people who are a little more cold resistant, for example, or are very bundled up with those traditional furs. But again, as there are travelers in any place, maybe there's a welcomed party in of some dragonborn and lizard folk who have approached here, and you see them tending to a variety of cattle, like sheep and cows, and they've brought in here. They're being fed and stabled for a little bit. Notably, there isn't a lot of cattle in Valkyrie, so it'd be very valuable and profitable to be able to care for and protect those animals from wildlife here. There are tending of goats, for example. So,
Are the special
people.
sheepies sheep-like creatures here?
the
Very
big
large,
sheep.
sort of more yak. If a yak and a sheep, like there's a
Yes.
special kind of
They have like
livestock
long
here.
fur.
Yeah.
A lot of
Big-
just
big
a
fluffy fur.
lot of fur.
Yes.
Matthias will narrate as they go, and will just be like pointing things out. Be like, that's the fucking inn. That's the dry goods. That's the fucking beast keeper. And
Poor guide Matthias.
Yeah.
but he
Love
does it
it.
all in Dwarvish because Awaish asked.
So no, not people are really understanding.
He knows that none of us can understand.
Well, I'd like to roll to see how many things I'm able to write down to be like, that looks like that.
Sure. Is this related to a feat that you have?
Nope.
You're just trying to learn it.
I just love language. Well, actually, hang on. Wait. There is one. I have the observant feat, so I can like read lips and things like that. So
Okay. Give me an intelligence check.
sure. That is a 17.
Okay, Oish, you pick up greeting phrases and common phrases. Like you can pass as someone who can communicate like
Pass as a
very
tourist.
effectively as a tourist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good for me.
All of you pick up like hello, where am I? Where's the bath? Again, not really hello, but like stay
Donde
warm.
está el baño?
Yeah, where is the bathroom? Where is the inn? I'm looking for, and I think Matthias would probably teach them like, I'm looking for a knight, like I'm looking for Matthias.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Definitely
Yay
teach them
big.
looking for Matthias.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That sounds great. That sounds good to me. He will take them specifically to the like if he sees the special livestock. I forget what they're called, but he'll like take them to the special livestock. They're big fuckers, huge.
How cool.
And are used for like their fur and also their meat, and I think possibly
Are they taller
dairy
than
purposes. I don't know, Alex. What do you think?
I would say they're about the size of a cow.
Yeah.
Bighorn sheep. They've got like, big curvy horns. They're very thick. You see rams as well. So like lots of big ones. I think as well some, not really alpaca, right? But there are some sheep that are like kind of longer neck and seem like finer wool.
Yeah.
And most of these there's not like as many stables. Some of these are just behind or between houses. Again, the houses are really clustered in interesting ways. It's a hard city to get the layout of, except for the fact that you see as you go deeper into the mountains and up, you get more of these large lodges, much smaller houses on the outside. And then within the actual like cave entrance of the city, which Matthias, is more like a larger labor force and residential and foraging. Most of the places for tourists to stay or visiting merchants are on the outside here. There's like finer equipment and some of like the more protected elements of the city, the governmental element of the city. Because this, again, Valkyrie doesn't have an overarching government necessarily, but different towns will have different structures. There is actually a king here, just a king of the Gale Peaks, but there is a dwarven monarch who is mostly an old standby. This is also a place that has council meetings and has a very strong guild presence, kind of a monarchy guild, not a monarchy, it's kind of a monopoly guild, actually, which is just a forging guild that also operates with food and trading and like everything. It's become the main economy driver here. But there is a fairly old dwarven king, Erudite is his name.
Erudite, like erudite, or
like erudite, but with a U to start.
Erudite. Cool. Well, it being about 4 p.m., it's probably time to find dinner and a place to stay. So Matthias will turn to everybody else and just be like, does anybody have any questions? We're going to stay here for tonight. I know where we can get lodging and food. It's actually quite good food. But does anybody need anything before we go and do that? Good?
How far is the order from here?
Alex, how far is the order? It's
Days,
close, right? Just a day?
It is a day because it is not pathed out. Like,
right.
You can't just follow a track to it. The winds shifted and you climb up into the mountains to get there.
Yeah. About a day of wayfinding.
Is there a place here to send or receive letters, or is that something we should wait for?
No, this would be a perfect place to do that if you needed to do that.
Plenty.
All right. That's all from me.
There are many blacksmiths here, and they're very fine metal workers. If anybody needs replacement weapons or anything of that nature, I highly recommend looking here. I know that I have something that I'm looking for that I ordered some time ago, but Yeah, Kiara.
I would love to go look at maybe some armor.
Yes, that sounds like a good idea as well. Actually, I wonder if Alex, wherever we go to send letters, is that probably where my armor would be?
No, your armor would be at so the siren probably would have communicated that there is that there's a sending circle here. That there's there are mages who live in this city. They have sending circles. So if someone began to work on armor for you and then sent it to be finished here, which is, we're just gonna say that you have done that. We don't need to retrospective it. You had someone start work on a piece of armor to finish it to the quality that you would desire and treat it for cold weather. You would have had it sent to this city to be finished. So you would most likely go to one of the blacksmiths that you would have sent it to deeper into the city.
Cool. Okay. Well, let's find a place to put our things down, find some rooms for the night, and then we can do whatever we need to do. There's a very good restaurant that I know the owner. I'm excited to show you all. They're very nice. And so he's gonna take them to the inn that they usually stay at, wherever that is.
This is the Horny Ram.
Oh my god, Alex.
I was waiting for a hole, but we got a ram. I love it.
Okay.
Beautiful art.
Yes.
And walks inside and is gonna give a very warm greeting to the innkeeper.
The innkeeper is a boisterous man in every sense of the word. His personality is as large as his figure. He is sometimes just called Ram because he owns the Horny Ram. You think his full name is probably like Remodius or like Remedian or something, but it's been translated just to Ram. And he, similar to many dwarves, has a very large beard. He's a much older dwarf. You'd say probably like closer to 300 at this point. He has a number of grandsons that run around here fairly frequently, but his beard is kind of like bunched in this interesting way and then tucked into an apron. Also very far along down his back in these tumbling gray curls, thick eyebrows. He's also got some of that stone texture to him, like these little patches maybe on the shoulders and such of like kind of cracked. You'd think it would be dry skin, but it's more like a granite texture. Down the arms, maybe some giantish heritage. And as you enter the Horny Ram, which is it doesn't seem to be anything different architecture-wise. Like, it's not super fancy, it's just one home among some of these homes about midway up the sort of switched back city, not too far from the cemetery that you see here, just like kind of towards the top of the hill. And I'll
Hell yeah.
point you towards. Got this big old building that is our.
Big old building?
Well, not the tallest one, but this
Show me
little.
the building.
Where the building?
I'll grab it.
Oh,
Oh god.
I moved a roof.
we came with a roof.
I don't know where the roof came from.
Hell
Oh,
yeah.
well. There we go. I don't have an insight.
I'm in a snowbank.
It's just
Where
a
is
little
it?
up towards the
Snow
top.
blanket.
Okay,
I
I'm
made
so
playing in the
city in the
snow.
world. We go.
Absolutely incredible. Yeah, I'm
where Kiara is.
gonna walk inside and say hello. And
Tell my shadow people.
good to see you. Definitely do the predator handshake with this guy. Just like beefy. Ooh, grab those
This-
forearms.
Would Ram refer to you by your knight title or by your name?
Probably by my title, I would imagine.
Okay. Then he's goes, Iron Man, it's good to see you.
Iron Man!
gonna die.
He's got the spirit.
He's got the
Hell
spirit.
yeah.
No, that's the vibe. Is just like shortening it. Not the full title, but just like whatever.
And Lady Scarlet, good to see you again as well.
Good to
Advice.
see you, Ram.
Matthias is... Get me something hot. Matthias, you can make introductions. I'm going to... I think I'm probably going to continue. I'm not going to stay with you for too long in the city here. I want to make it to the order ahead of you all.
Oh,
If
all
that's
right.
alright.
No. Yes. Is there anything like weird about her asking that?
You can give me an insight check.
Oh, great. I would love to give you an insight check,
There is something
Alex.
to see.
He's just like, huh? What do you mean? What is my insight? Garbage. Perfect. I'm using my inspiration. Fuck you.
Yay!
Steve advice.
Damn it! Fuck! I rolled a 2 and a 4.
Oh,
Yeah, you don't know.
man.
She's... It's not unusual. I'll say that. Like, that she wants to get back to the order. Maybe she just wants to use the hot tub tonight, and she'll move faster if she doesn't have to trek all.
I think that's
Love you
perfectly
guys.
reasonable. Yeah, he'll do a little clap on the shoulder and just see you tomorrow. Hopefully.
Yes. If you do need any equipment sent up our way, feel free to grab a hireling to pull some things up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that probably will. Thank you.
Yep.
Don't
Before
die between
I
here and
go.
there.
This is kind of turns to like Tazaril and goes, "This is a notable ask because many of our initiates actually do die on the trek from Darkstone to the Order. Idiots."
Tazu's just been like mostly quiet these past few days. It's just kind of looking at Vice like, "Are you fucking with me right now?" Like that's the look he's giving her.
No, this is for real. It's a dangerous. It's part of the. If you cannot make it to the Order, you are
Cannot
not really
join the
to
Order.
at night.
Makes a lot of sense.
Lot of falling rocks.
Martin definitely just sort of pats her on the shoulder, just like, be safe, and I'm thinking about it.
When you catch a look on her face, it's probably the most excited you've seen Vice. She's like crawling with the urge to get out of here and leave and go to the Order. So she pats, handshakes, nods. I'll see you in a day or so, and immediately heads out.
All right.
All right, Iron Man.
That's not. No,
Iron Man.
I like
Yes. It's
I think that's your new
that is
name.
not. It's not my new name. It's
Iron
not my
Man.
title either.
Sounds like a series
Iron
of
Man.
stories that could be made about that.
No,
Iron Man.
sounds like a hero, right? From
Mm.
like
not
the tales you
not
tell
me.
children.
I think I saw a play
Oh.
about that once.
Was it an artificer? Am I remembering right? It was an artificer. It was something. He had a dicky heart, something like that.
Yes.
I am not an artificer. I'm just a knight.
Just a man.
Okay.
An Iron Man.
Let's. What?
Man.
All right. No. Let's get rooms.
All right. Are you? Is the Order? Wrong accent. Is the Order covering your rooms?
Do you reckon I could
Are
get
you
them to
using
cover
the
our
business
rooms?
card?
Could we comp these?
We can try.
Always better to ask forgiveness than permission.
I do want to highlight. We
So
have
right,
money.
Kiara.
We do have money. I'll pay out of pocket for this.
What?
Yeah, we all have money.
What's money? I'm just kidding.
It's fine. How much is it
How much-
for?
How much are the rooms?
It's 2 gold.
2 gold per room. How many beds per room?
It's just 2 gold for the whole thing.
Okay,
For
right.
Okay.
We can camp on the floor, basically.
Okay.
2
2 gold. I pass it over. Remove 2 gold.
Ram bites into it, and you see he's got a tooth missing, and so the coin just, he doesn't really bite it. He just kind of sticks it in his mouth.
Ew. I love this man. All right, amazing.
He has got, like, his apron is stained with love. He's been wearing that thing for 20 years. Like, it's leather. It's oiled by grease from the kitchen. Like, this is the most grandfather person you've ever seen in your life.
Wow.
Is it
I
dirty
love
apron,
him.
clean sleeves?
Dirty apron, clean sleeves, yeah. He doesn't seem to be too talkative, mostly because after he is done, like, greeting you all in a friendly way, maybe practicing the greeting with you, like the warmth, he is immediately pulled over to the side by a set of very similar looking younger dwarven men who together collectively begin to carve a roast with him to prepare, like, sort of a banquet style buffet.
Hell yeah.
Thinking a kebab for a second, like, you know,
Yeah,
just like a
like
spinning thing of meat.
He is rotating this hind leg of something huge
Yes.
as they have this saw that's going back and forth
We're
down
gonna get shawarma,
the hind
baby.
leg.
Iron Man.
Yum.
All right. Let's go put our stuff down. Put our shit
stuff
down
down.
in our rooms and go find things.
Yeah.
Are we sharing a room?
You can have 3 rooms.
Okay, well. Kiara,
There's not
you-
Vice. Neve and I will probably take one.
I can bunk with Kiara.
Cool.
You throw your stuff down in the room. There is sort of a floaty throwable lady who takes your forget what they're called. Your cattle and your sled, and takes care of them. And just like goes kind of start brushing them down. These are not as traditionally used as like carrying cattle, but you've made them your own, so they need a little bit of a brushing out.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And the town grows more lively into the evening as well. You had seen lights in the distance. The lanterns here are pretty traditional. Not as much glass, just a lot of bent metal. But although the lanterns are not as fancy, you do see, as more people are coming out onto the street, that there's a unique style to some of the metalwork. I'm gonna have a perception check. I think everyone give me a perception check. It's great.
I do a tiny retcon.
Yeah.
So Bun went up, put the things in her room, and someone else came down.
Ooh.
So coming down the stairs in the reversed version of Barden's big fluffy coat, so now it's white on the outside, it's rather luxurious and fabulous looking, is a 5'6" green tiefling with like an evergreen kind of almost teal 2 horns sloping back, curled hair, which seems to be like beautifully oiled just naturally, with hooves that seem to be golden at the tips, and just, hello everybody, how are we doing tonight? Lovely to meet you all.
Now, none of you have seen this person before. Are you giving them a bit of a wink novel to suggest that it's you?
I think Rhyme, as not introduced yet, will sort of open the coat to show the sword strap to their side, and then over and just go, terribly sorry, I haven't introduced myself yet. I was getting terribly itchy, as it were. It's been too long, and it's such a metropolis out there. I'm so excited.
Oh.
Kiara immediately just jumps forward and hugs Rhyme.
Oh, hello. Hello,
my
darling.
gosh.
I've been so excited to meet you.
I'm
oh,
so
oh,
excited to meet you.
I'm so sorry. My name is Rhyme. R-I-M-E, like the story rather than the tune.
Okay.
Yes. Like the rhyme of the mariner, like in the old stories.
Is
I
it
don't know what
rhyme?
that means, but it doesn't matter.
I'm so excited. Anyway, sorry. Excuse me. I just wanted to introduce myself.
It's nice to meet you.
Did
I'm
you
a-
say you're 5'6" or 5'7"? Sorry. Still go ahead.
I think 5'6". We'll go 5'6".
That's
Kiara's
a pretty-
an inch taller than you now.
Wow. Oh, yeah, you got
but-
taller.
Because she
Yeah.
grew.
Rhyme is a trans man, and we love him.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So he's smaller.
Amazing. Okay. Is anybody hungry currently? Do we want to get dinner now or hungry currently? Okay, great. We can do that. Then we can get some of our shopping done. Okay. Yes, Neve. All right.
We've done more exercise than I have in my life.
Oh yes.
You're going to
just-
love this. I am taking them to the fucking spot. I am imagining it's like Arctic hot pot. Like
Yes,
a very
Hell yeah. I
Like-
wanted hot pot so bad.
a very fatty like stew with a bunch of like well, it doesn't have to be fatty because we have a vegetarian among us. But like lots of tubers and other root vegetables. But also there is a lot of meat. I think that in this place
Yeah.
there's just a lot of meat happening.
Makes sense.
Kind of need it for the amount of exercise you do.
But also probably like a good amount of dairy too. Like I'm sure
Yeah.
like cheeses and
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Mm.
Like
curds
sheep's
and
cheeses,
stuff.
definitely.
Yeah.
But you sit around a low table and there's just a big fuck off pot in the middle. Maybe like two, so you can have two different ones going if you want. But yeah, and you can like dip shit into it, and it's like a sturdy broth that like really sticks to your ribs.
Thick broth. I do need that perception check from everyone as you're heading.
I got a 21.
All right. I rolled a 19.
Hell yeah.
Just a 15 for me.
19, 21.
17.
Great.
Oh, 26, baby.
26.
Oh, wait 1 second. Does that include my... It doesn't include my proficiencies. That's, a lot more.
Okay.
I think that...
Well,
Wait. So
the
insight
proficiency
is
you
plus
see.
7, and then my proficiency, if I'm proficient in it, that's added, right?
you all see very good.
No, if you're
My
looking at
brain went
D&D
somewhere
Beyond,
else.
if you're looking at the modifier,
Yeah.
it should already have added your proficiency in
Okay,
if
thank
you
you.
are proficient.
26.
Oh, yeah. So then, beneath the furs, as you are spending a little more time here, many people are wearing thin layers of chainmail. This is very, very fine chainmail. It, like, just from cursory glancing, you don't see any flaws. It doesn't seem to be very broken. But it seems to be very common that people are wearing armor in this city. In fact, you also see plate mail. You see, fantastically elegant, like dark metal armor. That is a level of expense that is very uncommon. It is unlikely that just casual people would be wearing the kind of armor that adventurers or mercenaries or knights would wear because it is so expensive to purchase and upkeep. You don't see a common person or a merchant wearing chainmail. It's very unlikely. So that stands out to all of you. The metalwork is also prevalent just in here. The houses and all of that are wood. Like there's pine forest here. There's a lot of access to wood in this area, but some of the edges of windows have these unique latching mechanisms that are very fine, which you wouldn't necessarily see. Hinges and handles and doorknobs are elegantly carved in playful fox patterns or snowflakes. There are these elegant filigree beaded things hanging from lights and chandeliers inside buildings. There is obviously a important element of craftsmanship in this town. It is not inherently ostentatious, but it is a huge, huge part of the culture here.
Cool.
We gather around 2 bubbling cauldrons of hot stew. You've got 6 in total now. Neve, Matthias, Kiara, Awaish, Rhyme, and Tazriel, which fits comfortably around one of the large tables here. This is a metropolis, and you've all been through a lot together, but you are now here in the Waste. You've achieved that part of your goal. You've been here for a while, but this is a big city that it marks the entrance to the wider wasteland. Even those who have been into Valkyrie or have traded in Valkyrie don't tend to come out this far. Like, this is significant that you are here. And you also know this to be, just from general common knowledge, a bastion of the wild. Like, there are more monsters and dark forces that live in the Frostlands than almost anywhere else. Although each country across Senelji faces its own forms, whether through sandstorms or cursed weather or ghouls and undead, whatever it may be. You are now at the point where the things you will face, the things in the dark and in the night, are a lot more powerful and a lot scarier and a lot more common than most people would ever encounter. As much as that is, it's what you signed up for. What that also means is that as researchers, your expedition now kicks in. From this point on, monsters that you face, things that you defeat, I'm assuming you are documenting and researching and communicating back to Fulcrum. Because a huge element of this is you've been sent by a powerful group of people to learn more about the wild, how to defeat it, where it's coming from, just the knowledge that dangerous things are happening more and more frequently. You are not just going out to fight things, but you are learning from them. So this is a great time, this dinner here in this moment, to maybe talk to your employers and let them know that you're here, you're good, you've made it, and you're ready to begin.
Awesome.
Oh shit. Oh, should we get out the sendings?
Right time.
God, wait, we can only talk to Nomi, right?
We can talk to Siren.
Send it
And
to anyone,
Siren,
I
right?
think, that has a figurine.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know that Nomi has a figurine. You do know some of the names of like other Fulcrum members, and I'm sure that you could let them know they would like to talk, and they will do something, to
Cool.
help you with that.
Unless somebody else wants to do it, I'll use the figurine to send to Nomi.
Sure.
We could write out what we're all gonna say to do it in the sections.
Oh, I think we're just gonna make like first contact so that we can set up a
gotcha,
phone
gotcha,
call.
gotcha.
Yeah, we're like scheduling. We're scheduling a group call right now.
So we've arrived. We're safe.
Yes.
We love you.
Like pulls out the little figurine and is going to send to Nomi and say, "The Fulcrum Expedition has arrived in Aishol. We're spending a night here and we'll be moving on tomorrow to head to the Order of the Black Ice. We'd like to get in touch with you and just let you know what's happened so far. Let us know if there's a time that works best." I'm sending a win to meet link. If you could fill that out.
I was just gonna say.
You just fill that out really quickly.
And also we're gonna add a hammer time.
Make sure
just for
to
our
open
time
it on your
zones.
browser and not your figurine.
There's a moment there you know the message is sent, and then we're pleased to hear that, and Fulcrum eagerly awaits your report. I'll gather some of the members, and our mage will connect us. When
amazing.
to meet now.
Amazing. But we do need to eat dinner first, so we're gonna eat dinner and have a fun time. And when we eat dinner, Matthias gets like 2 decanters of something, 2 pitchers of some hefty like ale or whatever liquor or alcohol is most
Like,
applicable.
A White Russian is like
Sure.
alcoholic hot chocolate, basically.
We're getting
Yeah.
oh, we're okay.
And is going to hand out mugs to everyone and pour everybody a mug, and then sits back.
Me too.
Yes, Neve's getting it. Well, I mean, I look at Oish.
Neve's 19.
In the
As-
US, that's different though.
He's like slowly reaching across the table, just looking at Oish.
Oace just takes theirs and with a look at Matthias just moves it over to Neve.
We'll get something non-alcoholic for Oish as well.
Yeah.
Great.
And sits back and raises his mug up. And that same sort of expression where the tension is gone and it just like opens his face up is present, and he looks around at everybody and says, "It's been difficult so far, and it will only continue to be difficult as we move forward, but we have successfully made it to Aishol, and that is not something to be ignored. Congratulations to each and every one of you. It has been a very difficult journey, but you have done it." And he raises his glass.
Yeah,
Wait,
that was
uses a
Kiara
peach
in
and a
character,
racist.
like having to put the second hand below because
So big.
it was a very full cup.
As you all
Cheers.
finish drinking and cheering, there is a feeling like a bubble bursting, like a sort of plop, pop, and the surfaces of one of the cauldrons stops boiling for a second and kind of glasses over into a flat liquid, and you see peering over sort of the edge of the cauldron as if looking down at something, a warm red-brown skinned tiefling with curls of light blues and pinks, these angled horns. You see jewelry descending from them, that sharp eye as Siren sort of looks into the scry to make sure it is connected, and then the image kind of shifts up and sets back, and you see it like ripple and divide for a second, and there is Sir Silverhawk to one angle, there is Nomi Rajan, the prince of the Raj family, to one angle. You see the Black Lotus Wren, the Azamar, who is the leader of the Black Ice, appears sort of to one angle. Now they're not in the same room. It's like they've been patched into.
No,
a
they
group call.
fucking patched her in? Oh
this the
shit! I wasn't expecting to see my boss.
Siren.
Your
I
boss
just, I
is
just
an
bought
Asimar?
2 mugs of alcohol. I just bought like
Kiara
2
wants to be like-
pitchers.
Do I have 2 cousins in this chat?
Huh?
You
Not the
see
conference call.
Yokor Tiransbish, who is the Archmaid of the Cloud Court. You see Dorian and Melchius Shieldlord, the Furbolgan Gnome, the leaders of the Warnalbaran Alliance, appear towards the bottom. Vernal Mirthsbane, a nervous-looking human, and Plutarch Morgan Vertus, the very wealthy half-elf from the Perelian coast as well. So they're all patched in. Oh, and of course the Naga Merli, the spokesperson for Asley.
I need to make it known that, like, as soon as they clinked their drinks together, Taz downed his first drink. Like, it's just gone at this point before they, like, patched in.
Jesus
And it's just-
Christ. Slash positive. I love it. I love the choice.
Yeah.
I've just
Ah.
realized that we've got fucking Rhyme there, and no one knows who Rhyme is on the other side of that call, apart from maybe Siren.
Hilarious.
Siren knows.
Siren knows. I think Rhyme's
Just like
there,
lean
just like
back a little bit.
Yeah, just like out of the cool, just a little
Barden
bit.
is food poisoning.
Now,
A
it's
weird
not all of them
question.
are- Yes, please.
This is scry. Is it kind of like an altered version of scry?
Yes, it's the same
Would
way
this-
that seeming is like a better version of
Would it pick up
Disgusting.
Oash and Neve?
Yeah, would this run into
Alter
problems
self?
with our amulets at all?
yes, actually.
Okay.
So you just look like a little fuzzy?
You look like fuzzy clouds. They can't hear you
Yeah.
speaking, they can't see that you're there.
Static.
All right, cool. I cannot take it off, but I will note that, and I will feed anything through that I need spoken to another party member.
I will say again, I don't want to fuck with your amulet at all,
Mhm.
but since you can still do things like sending, I can Siren will like tweak it a little bit for a moment, and then you start getting he can use your sending figurine as a speakerphone, meaning he'll be able
Perfect.
to hear you talking.
You and
Just so
Yeah,
you can be
I'm
in that
happy with that.
conversation.
I'm calling in
when
from
you
my
gotta-
phone.
Yeah, you got.
You're not on
Correct.
the Wi-Fi. You gotta call.
Can we
Kara's
do
just
a
staring
bio?
at-
Oh,
Oh, good.
I was gonna ask
Oh,
you
we
to do a
do
bio
bio
break.
break?
Because it feels like a good place
Oh.
to do it, right?
Oh.
Yeah, that's a great.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pooja, do you want to hold on that for a second and then?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
No
Sorry,
way.
I didn't mean to cut you off though. If you want to do it
You're
now,
fine. I'll just say Kiara's just staring at everybody because there's only one person in this world that intimidates her. So, fine.
Ooh.
All right, we're gonna go piss.
I do like that. All right, we'll see you guys back in like 5 or 7 minutes.
Bye.
Bye.